If you sell to retail brands, CPG brands, or even food service brands, and you're not closing as many deals as you want to be through your net new outreach, then this video is for you. The key to closing deals through your net new outreach is getting your prospects to consume more content and spend more time with you than the rest of your competitors. That's the key. If you can get your prospects to do that, you're going to win that deal, or at least have the best chances to win that deal. So the trick is being able to do this. The problem that most people don't understand is that people will only consume the amount of content and the amount of information that is relative to their current interest level, okay? So just to show you this example, I've done this in my past videos, and this is the key operating premise that we use at MoneyMake Marketing, and I'll explain who I am here in a second. But this is your interest level, then you will only consume up to this amount of content, okay? If anything that is up here where you're actually going through more than just your interest level will dictate, people deem this as a waste of time, okay? So the key to the game, remember, we need to get a prospect to consume more of our content and spend more time with us than all the rest of our competitors. So how are we able to do that, knowing that we can only have the prospect consume as much content as their interest levels will dictate? So how do we play with this formula? I'm going to walk you through that in this video. If you guys have never been here before, you've never seen me before, my name is Ryan Ogren. I'm the founder of MoneyMake Marketing. So far this year, we've generated $5.8 million in cash collected revenue for our clients. Our clients are all vendors of retail, CPG, food service brands. And we actually have a couple clients that are outside of that, more in the power generation and data center development space. But most of our clients are vendors of retail, CPG, and food service brands, all different niches. And this strategy works across all of them. We have packaging, display and fixtures, corrugated, even QSR, general contracting, construction, like all of those, okay? Printing, that's another one. So what I want to talk about is how can you get your prospects to start to actually consume more information? A lot of people, the normal business development strategy that a lot of our clients have before they come to work with us, if they have one at all, is they'll actually just send an email. They'll then they'll just send a cut sheet with their capabilities and just expect the prospect to read their capabilities, okay? And the problem with that is your interest level on this, reading the capabilities, is super low. It's super low. And you're also having your prospect having to do all the work to figure out how they can use your capabilities in their own offering. So it doesn't do any work for them whatsoever, and it doesn't explain exactly how you can help them. And also, it doesn't pitch them on that they're a better problem for them to solve. It doesn't pitch them on a better solution that you can solve, right? A lot of times, we have to almost change their belief system to close a deal and create our own opportunities. So I'll talk about that in a second. But so the problem with this current funnel is the prospect, we have done nothing to increase their interest level unless they saw a capability that they really needed in that sheet. And then after that, we haven't done anything to attack that newly raised interest level and give them more information to consume. So a lot of times after this, a lot of people will try and get the prospect booked on a call. And then once that call is booked, that's when they're trying to get more information, and they're constantly raising their interest levels and their consumption on that call. But then there's no other content after it. And that's the issue, because then they go through, hey, we need a bunch more calls, we need this, we need that. And there's just a whole bunch of a hole in the sales process, because they want to usually see portfolios, your past work. They want to see other things. They want to see how you handle certain situations that might come up in their business. How do you handle longer lead times? What happens if you mess up? What happens if they mess up? What happens if communication messes up? What happens if someone in their company leaves? What happens if someone in your company leaves? What happens if something breaks? How do you fix it? Like all these upside, downside, west side, east side questions that need to be answered in the sales process for them to move forward. You can give them this information ahead of time. And when they go through it, it just spirals their interest level. It just constantly tip-top keeps them consuming. So they're spending more time listening to you, but it also keeps their interest level continuing to rise because they think they finally found the vendor that they're actually looking for. And so this is so important because I'm going to explain a little bit more of the nuance. If you go through our sales process, you will feel this feeling. And I think it's the only way you can really do it is by going through our sales process, or going through any of our client sales process. But you can feel this When you go through the sales process and you start consuming, we start this cycle of you're going to be consuming more and more information about us, you will only think of us as the only people that can do what I'm talking about. Why does that happen? It's because you've been consuming so much of my content, and the way our brains are wired, because you've been consuming so much of our content, you feel like you already know us and you feel like we're the only ones that do what we just said. Now, you know there's other marketing agencies out there. You know there's other marketers out there, but you've spent a lot of time going through our stuff. And so you already are like maybe pre-sold on it. You already see the ideology. You already saw all this information. And we just continuously raise your interest and consumption levels up. So we now have so much more goodwill with you if we did it right than every single other agency that's out there. So that situation, that lopsided effect, is why we've been able to win these deals for our clients, okay? So how do we actually do this in our funnel? Because this funnel, this capabilities deck funnel, doesn't really work that great. So now I'll actually show you adjustments to the capabilities deck, and then I'll show you what we currently do. So if we were just gonna adjust this funnel, what I would actually do for the capabilities deck, just to get them to consume all of it, because I think a lot of times when you send the capabilities deck, I think what's happening right now, they're not actually consuming all of it, because their interest level is only this high, and the work they need to do to truly actually understand your capabilities deck is actually this high. So what's happening is that bridge right here, this little difference here, is being lost. And this information here could raise their interest, but it's not. And so the thing that's going to raise their interest in this situation, if you're going to do email and then capabilities deck, is our strategy has been AI PDF the capabilities deck. So AI PDF, and what this does is it actually is going to do a little bit of research and then tailor the actual capabilities deck to the prospect. Well, in our experience, this has been so much better because it explains how your capabilities actually will fit that prospect right now based on current things that are happening in their company. And so what that now does is it makes the work of them consuming the capabilities deck, if we had just used the same interest level, it makes the work that they need to use to consume the capabilities deck way less. So now what happens is like they're going to consume all of that. And when they consume all of that, the interest level goes up. So it's kind of like this little ladder thing that happens. And we want them to consume more information, because remember, the goal, if we can get more of our prospects to consume more information of ours, we're going to win more of the deals. That effect, there's a name for it in psychology. I'm not just making this up. But the more you see the same person over and over again, the more you see the same thing over and over again, it's like the likeness effect or something like that. And they just they see you over and over again. And if you can do this with everybody, that's like all the decision makers that are on that team, you're going to win that quote. Okay? That's one way to kind of be aware of this. Remember, we're trying to get them to consume more content than the next guy, right? So our funnel that we've been using right now, that we just used to close a $1.2 million deal start to finish in 13 weeks in the packaging industry. Okay, I know all of you are probably like, whoa, packaging. Those are long lead times. People only say that, and this is my soapbox, but people only say there's not long lead times, long sales cycles. People only say there's long sales cycles because they're counting deals that are not even in market. You reach out to somebody and they're not interested at all. You count from when you reached out to them first to when that deal closes. And that's just totally not true. If that was the case, then everybody that I reached out to that I want to work with that hasn't gotten back to us, like our sales cycle is currently started for them. That's not the case. I would say your sales cycle is when that lead engages to when they order. And you can shrink these sales cycles down if you do it right. You can do it. And you could also go to the companies that are in market right now, which is with our triggers. And I'll talk about that in another video. But anyways, email, this is like our funnel. I'll do this. There's 2 ends in there. Okay, so we'll email them. Then we'll do more that we can we're trying to make it as easily to consume as possible, okay? So in our experience, the best way to do this, to make sure that they watch the video, make it engaging, make it entertaining, make it energetic, and remember, our goal is to actually get them to consume the information. So in our experience, we've tested an AI PDF versus a video pitch, and the AI PDF did not outperform the video pitch. The video pitch outperformed the AI PDF. Now, nuance thing, if you send a video pitch that's 10 minutes long, not gonna work. You need to send it, and it has to be like 60 seconds. And all of this, the 60 seconds, you wanna have someone from your team, maybe someone below you, if it's us doing the video pitch, we're the ones on camera and we just say we're a part of your team and it makes you look really good because we're really good at what we do and we're very sharp. So then when we do the video pitch, we keep them very short. Remember, we only have as much time as they have interest, okay? And so if they have very limited interest, then what are we doing, right? Send the video pitch. We're tying the capabilities. The goal is to get them information, but to increase their interest level. And so 60 seconds, tie their capabilities to their current situation, and then explain some social proof. That's all. Then you go to next steps. Get their curiosity going, open a loop. That's how you get things moving. So all we did right here, if I just draw an arrow down for the interest and capabilities, so their interest is here. I'm trying to get them information as easily as I possibly can. And it's not just sending them a pitch deck. It's not easy for you. It's easier for them to consume. All they have to do is press a button and listen. They can scroll through your pitch deck, but they're not going to get the true nuance of how you can help them. They have to think through that. And so what we've noticed is, like, when we send them a Loom video, they can watch it on their phone. They can watch it on their own time. They'll just click it. They'll listen to it when they're walking to a conference, whatever. And we've had this time and time again. And so after we get the video pitch, we got their interest level raised to there. Because not only did they know that we put work into it, they also see a human, and it's like a connection thing. So anyways, now we've gotten them we just upped our threshold, so we now can have them consume more information. So what we send next, what do you think it is? Social proof sheet. We call it a proof page, but sometimes it's our client's portfolio. Sometimes it's an FAQ page. Sometimes it's something completely different. Sometimes it's just a bunch of examples of previous work that you've done in that particular industry. But why do we send that next? We have a lot. We just gained a lot of their interest. We have room to get them to consume more of our content. We have room now. We earned it, okay? So give it to them. They will consume up to their interest level in content. So once we give them the capabilities deck, once we give them the portfolio, once we give them more information, social proof. This should be more geared around your past work and social proof, just to build more trust and credibility. Once they see the social proof, we're always pushing to get them on a call. Now, when we get them on a call, the video pitch opened a loop that they naturally want to close. We are able to say stuff like, now we can give you more information about this particular thing on a call. I want to keep this video kind of short. And when we say stuff like that, they're like, wow, okay, there's a reason I need to meet with you. I want to understand what you're saying. It is worth meeting with you. You proved it to me. All right, let's hear it. And so then they get on a call with our clients, and then they just go through their normal sales process. So then after the call, we've already gotten them to 60 seconds. We got them to go through our social proof, and then we got them on a call, versus just having them probably glance at a capabilities deck and then pester them to try to get on a call. We're already getting them to consume more content. And then after that, I love it when our clients have blogs, FAQ videos, LinkedIn posts. Those are all like the main ones. So the blogs, this is just going to be on your website. We don't do any blogs. We have a MoneyMake Marketing blog on our website, but we won't ever do like blogs for our client services. We don't do blogs for our clients. Our clients oftentimes just have it from like an old school marketing method. It's not really new school anymore. The new school version of the blogs are these LinkedIn posts. We do these for our clients. LinkedIn posts and then the FAQ videos. FAQ videos, these are frequently asked questions that they're going to ask you in your sales process. What happens? Think about upside and downside. So a frequently asked question, just to build trust. Like for a manufacturer, what happens if your lead times exceed what you tell us? How do you handle that? What happens if material doesn't show up okay? What happens if the end product is broken? What's your warranty? How do you handle that? What happens if this? What happens if that? If you go through all these situations and just record yourself doing videos about this stuff, that's a video camera. You have great LinkedIn content now, but you also answer a lot of questions for your sales team. And once again, when you have all this ammo, what's happening to that prospect that just got on a call with you? They're consuming more content. Like let me see if I can draw an hourglass. That's a pretty good hourglass. That's an hourglass. They're consuming more of your content in your sales process than the next person. And that gives that effect of there's no one else for this particular thing that we're talking about. These guys are the ones. And so these FAQ videos, maybe I'll do a video on this, but if you go to through our sales process, once again, you will see how we do it, and you'll see our FAQ videos on our proof page. I can't tell you how many times when we are onboarding a new prospect for us, they go through every single video that's on that proof page. When they get interested in something, all we're doing is we're taking their interest level up and giving them more content to go up. That's it. You have to start low and give them more information, get going. It's like a fire. We're like building a fire of interest inside of our prospects. And you start with the kindling, you give them a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's a roaring fire, and you have to keep giving them logs. That's how you get these deals across the line. I know this sounds different than what you most likely have been trying, but this is why we have different results. So if you have any questions, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll try to get back to you. This is a new channel, so I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, let me know what you think. I just had to fix my audio, so I hope it's all fixed now. But yeah, Ryan Ogre and MoneyMake Marketing.